Hey reviewers, and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you've been well. Today, courtesy of Greenbridge Motorcycles, we have the much anticipated Suzuki GSX-S1000 GT for review. Now, pricing wise, Suzuki priced this currently in September of 2022 at basically £12,000, which kind of puts it slap bang in the middle of the pack of its competitors. Now, I'm going to put some of these on the screen now so you can see. Now, I appreciate I'm probably a little bit late to the game on this one, but I think that's a good thing because this bike actually did go on to be Suzuki's best-selling bike of 2022, which is what I thought it would be. And ultimately, it's built upon a very successful platform in the GSX-S1000. But now you've got the addition of the fairings here, obviously the screen, and you've got this brand new main 6.5-inch TFT, which I'll come back to in a minute. Now, if you did like the review that I did on the GSX-S1000, but you didn't think you wanted the naked styling, then this could very well be the machine for you, because this machine, of course, has full fairing on there and a nice screen. But 90%, probably even 95% of the remainder of the bike is exactly the same. So you already know what you're going to get. You've got now the luxury of that wind protection and tech. So let's run through a couple of the specs then, and I'm going to take her out for a ride. Coming down to the front of the bike, of course, you've got 17-inch wheels front and rear of this one. You've got Brembo 4-pot calipers on there, so you've got good stopping power, very, very nice. You've got twin 310mm drilled discs on the front. I'll do a magic cut to the back so you can see, but you've got 240 there, and it's a single pot Nissan caliper on there. Now, you've got black coated wheels on here. You can get the blue ones, and color wise, of course, I'll put them on the screen now. But basically, you've got two variations of the blue, and then you've got the black as well. Now, I happen to quite like it in the black actually, or Triton blue perhaps might be my alternative. I don't know, I think they'll look nice. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Suspension wise, you've got KYB set up. These are 43mm. They are fully adjustable at the front, and at the back you've got preload and damping, and again, it's a nice setup. You've got everything you pretty much need to make it your own. A race bike it isn't, but possibly the ultimate bike for the road it might well be. Now, styling wise, I happen to really like it. They've built upon the GSX-S1000's naked look and then gone full stealth bomber at the front, and I happen to really like it. Now, of course, you've probably heard it mentioned before, when you've got the lights on, you've got these daytime running LED lights, and this side, which would be the left when you're on it, is active. This one isn't, and it does come on, and both of them, in fact, when you've got full beam. Little niggles, just to be honest with you, and I agree with that. I think, why not just have them all on? It kind of looks like one is out, and you get people flashing you because they think one of your lights isn't working. Anyway, minor gripe. Right, taking you around to the side then, here we've got the main tank. Now, this is 19 litres. You should get around 43 miles per gallon, so they say. I believe that's going to give you a potential range of anywhere between, let's say, 160 and maybe even up to 200, but it is very much going to depend on how you ride the machine. But let's just say 180, 190 is going to be your average. Now, seating wise, this is very accessible. This is 810mm. I'll do a couple of cuts so you can see in a couple of pictures as well, but it's very, very easy to get on the bike. Now, you can get the hard luggage to go with it as well, and there are now a whole host of top boxes and bags that you can get, soft luggage as well for the top, but you've certainly got options. It should be a nice place for pillions. And of course, it gives you everything you need to do a little bit of light touring. And depending on your setup, maybe even go for a week or two, who knows? That might depend on how much you want to change your undercrackers. Round to the back there, of course, yeah, you've got LED lighting at the back as well. Same as the front, that's LED. Nice exhaust system. It meets all Euro 5 standards. It is catted up, and it does kind of remind me of that era, maybe 2005, 2007, in the GSXR 750s and the 600s. They had that kind of stubby exhaust, which I think looks really, really nice. Now, engine wise, let's come down and have a look at this. Now, this very much does use the K5 engine from the GSXR1000 of 2005. However, it has been much updated, so you've got upgraded camshafts and injectors, the ECU running it, everything is basically state of the art, and it has been retuned. So this produces 150 horsepower at peak and 106 newton meters of torque, which for most people is actually quite a lot for the road, okay? So it has been retuned as well, so you've got more torque lower down, and it's definitely noticeable. Now, also as well with this, you've got the upgraded air intakes. These are all new for this bike as well, and it does have a very gnarly sound. It's got a lovely growl to it. I think there are some benefits of this technology being a little bit older, in that it does actually hark back to a time where everything was a bit more loud, a bit more raucous, and you had a great bit of fun from your machines. A lot of newer bikes, a little bit dumbed down, you know, a lot of meeting regulations and sound regulations. This bike seems to get through, but it gives you a very, very awesome experience out of the gates without changing anything. Now, coming around to this side of the bike then, in terms of gearbox, you've got a 6-speed, which is 1 down, 5 up. You've got a slip and assist clutch on there, quick shifter up and down, auto blipper, all the toys on it. And of course, you've also got traction control and ABS as well, and all of those things are linked to the bike. So it is a very modern setup. You don't have a 6-axis IMU, but being honest with you, I really don't think you're going to need it. Most people will never push this machine or any machine to their limits. Right, coming up to the business end then. So here you've got your standard key, no kind of fancy stuff there, and to be honest, it really isn't needed. Control wise, of course, on this side you've got your clutch, but you've got your main control system here. So this kind of hat system, if you like. This is where we're going to go through the menus. I'll show you that in a second. Indicators, horn, cruise control and reset up and down, and then over on this side you've got your ignition, of course, accelerator, brake, hazard lights, and that's your cruise control activation. Now I want to show you this because this bit is quite cool. Turn the key on, get a nice bit of Suzuki logo there. I'll try and hold the camera still so you can see it. There we go. Now this one's just done a bit of mileage, so it's ready for its first kind of bed-in service, but it is a brand spanker, this one, brand new. Okay, so this is the brand new 6.5-inch TFT from Suzuki, and to be fair, this is kind of much anticipated, and I think it's going to show the direction of Suzuki in the years to come, with the 2023 models coming and being announced very soon. Now, I've had a bit of a play with it already, and it's a really easy system to use. This is your main control system, and to access most of it, all you're going to do is push OK on here, and when you do that, it's going to pop up, highlighted up here if you can see, and then up and down on here, and I can change through the rider modes. Now you've got A, B and C. Now you can come up with the names for them yourselves, but basically C is a good mode for, let's say, rain or bedding in the bike if it's brand new. That's going to give you reduced power mode, obviously maximum traction, but it will really help build up your confidence. And don't get me wrong, this is a 999cc, so it's no slouch. You're going to get a good feel from it. Move up to balanced or B mode, and it is pretty much what it says on the tin. You've got most of the power. It's not as aggressive as the A mode, but it's a good everydayer, and I think a lot of people would probably run it in that mode. Back up to the top, A, alpha, aggressive, whatever you want to call it. This is the full power, full fat mode, and this is where the engine kind of lets rip. And where you really feel the difference ultimately is here, okay? So comfort mode, you can kind of wind this back and it's not going to lurch anywhere. B is nice and relaxed. A, only a little bit of throttle and she kind of leaps into action. Now, what you can also do, so if I wanted to go into A, I'm just going to push OK. This is your traction control, and I believe you've got 5 versions or settings on there. I'm just going to go through those. Yeah, there's your 5, or off, of course, as well, if you're brave. I'm going to put it back to 5 because 1, I'm not a hero, and 2, this is not my bike. Quick shifter on as well, so obviously make sure you want to have that setting there if you need to. I'm just going to push OK on that. I'm not going to mess with it, but it's there if you need it. Now, to go into the main system, just back out of that for a minute, hold OK, and then what will happen, ta-da, that's going to be your main system. Now, you may or may not know, but you've actually got smartphone connectivity on here, so Android or iOS for Apple users, and I think that's really good actually on a bike that, you know, is priced at £12,000. I think that's really good. Again, just up and down through here to go through the system. There's not a huge amount to change, to be honest with you, but I guess it's nice to have. And in there, you can go into it, change the brightness, day and night modes. In fact, I do want to show you that one just quickly. White one, we've got it already. There we go. Let me just show you this. Now, I don't know about you, but I happen to prefer that one, and I would probably run it in that most of the time because I think this looks like almost a bit of a hark back and a look back at the retro styling of bikes of past. This tachometer obviously works really well. Red line, or start of the red line, is going to be at 12. I'm not sure if you're going to want to take it there, but it's entirely up to you. You probably could. Of course, you've got your tank range here, or your meter, engine oil, and you've got your range for the tanks, and up and down on here you can go through information like odometer and trip. Lastly, on the side here you've got kind of warning lights if you need them, and your time, and obviously this one is saying that it needs a service. Other than that, it's a very straightforward system to use, and just over here you've got a power USB there for a sat-nav unit if you wanted to run it separately. Now, before we head off, just bear with me, I'm going to give you a bit of a start up so you can hear it. So there she is running, and to be honest, look, she sounds quite nice even just on tick over. I'm not going to go crazy because we're in the country, but just to give you a bit of a sound bite. Very nice, right? And this airbox, when she's running in a minute under power, you wait till you hear it, you get a lovely gnarly growl from here. Very, very nice, very nice. All right then gang, there's your walk around. Any questions, anything you want to know, let me know in the comment section. But without further ado, let's take her for a ride. Let's go. Woo, baby. Yeah. All right. Let's get out of here. Now, very countrified road, so I can't be opening it up down here, but give me a minute. And don't you worry, I'll make sure you're perfectly catered for. It's a bit dodgy as. Dodgy, mate, dodgy. Proper dodgy, mate. Fiat 500 coming through. Beep, beep. Hello. Now, otherwise, we've got a tiny break. It's not exactly raining, a little bit of blue, so we can thank the gods for that one. Now, starting off, what I want to show you, I did kind of give it briefly an overview on the walk around. It's going to be these rider modes, okay? So I'm going to get to the end just up here, then I'm going to show you how they work in practice. Right, wait for this van. Lovely, gnarly roar. That's not even giving it that much. Right, so we're currently in the alpha aggressive mode at the moment, and what I'm going to do is just show you how to change it. So OK button here, okay, make sure you've got lots of space. Just going to close the throttle, push A, push down and push back, and now we're in the B mode. Right? It's that quick and easy, you can do it on the fly. This is ride by wire, of course, as well, okay? Now, how it changes things, if you look at my throttle hand, immediately it's slightly more forgiving, okay? So it's just a bit more chilled out, but you've still got plenty of power there. Close it again, push OK, down for C, back out, and that's it. We're now in the comfort mode, or the C power mode, which is reduced power. Now again, look at my throttle hand. Now, can you see how much it cranked back that time compared to in the other modes? Hey chap. So this is really good if you're getting used to the power of the bike, or you know, whether you could think of it as a rain mode. Very, very forgiving, so you don't have to worry about it too much. You can learn the bike, learn its power, and then you can move up. Right, back into top gear, push OK, 2 taps up, back out. Now we're back in the full fat power mode, okay, which is good because we're going to come into a 30 here, and I want to show you what she's like on fueling. We've got a very, very tasty Ferrari behind us, by the way, so don't be surprised if it goes flying past us in a minute. You might be able to hear it. Oh, it's gone the other way, never mind. Very, very nice. Anyway, so the switchable rider mode is a great feature of the bike, right? It comes as standard, nothing you need to worry about, and it means that you've pretty much always got a mode that's going to suit you. If you're going out on an enthusiastic ride, full power all the way, of course. Some might just like the balance, especially if you're going to do touring, and C is great for just kind of learning the bike, rain modes, getting used to it, building confidence. Now, traction control I'm not going to mess with, and quick shift I'm not going to mess with, but I am going to show you how that quick shifter works right now, okay? So we're in 5th gear, 3000 RPM, throttle closed, just tap down. Nice and easy, up. That's good, right? Now I get to ride a lot of bikes, and I can tell you they're not all the same. You know, a lot of bikes have got quick shifters nowadays, absolutely. But the way Suzuki have engineered this one, it's very snappy, but smooth, okay? Some manufacturers, they're quite notchy, or they only work well when you're at the very, very high RPMs. This works very well on both of those, and I know that because I've already taken out the GSX-S1000, the naked version, basically. Back up again. Now, it's not an essential. Of course, it's really useful if you're going to go fast on a track or anything, but even just day-to-day riding, that's going to make your life very, very easy, I promise. Great system. Now, manual shift as well, you know, you can go down with these, and you can even throttle blip if you want to as well. You do have an auto blipper. It's very smooth. I have to say, A is quite on or off, I'm not going to lie, that throttle is literally quite on it. But the gearbox and overall feeling, yeah, really good. Now, one of the biggest things to me that stands out is that screen and just how clear and easy it is to see, which is ultimately what you want, right? Because, you know, not all manufacturers have moved over to full TFT yet. Some are still running, you know, LCD technology, and although those are fine, some of the screens are a little bit small. So this being a 6.5-inch TFT, it works really well. Everything you need is easy to see at a glance, and you can change and customise things to suit your needs. In fact, speaking of which, let's just see how much fuel we've got left. 49 miles, right, we're good. Now, just a little bit about ergonomics quickly then, just while we're kind of stuck behind these vehicles here. We are going to open it up into a bit of national speed limit in a little bit, so hold on for that bit. But just overall ergos, I'm 6'4", I'm a big guy, some of you might already know that. For the bigger guys, for the bigger girls, you're going to get on fine. The ergonomics are brilliant. It's going to be very good for any people with longer arms, such as myself, because the seating position it's sportier than some sport tourers, but it's not sports bike sporty, if that makes sense. There are some which are a little bit more upright, okay, and bars back and up. But this is a great position. It's certainly not going to hurt your wrist, not going to hurt your back, but it's a fun position. But they've managed to combine it with a super comfortable seat, just overall perfect ergonomics. Even my knees are not too bent up or anything like that. Sometimes, you know, I'm 40 now, and I get like cramp in my hips and stuff. Must be getting old. But none of that, it's actually super comfortable. Now, the switch gear and everything, I have to say, very easy to use. This one's different because you've got that kind of, you know, plus or hat system there for this new screen. And it works really well, you know, nothing too fancy on there, but it doesn't need to be. Everything's got a good feel to it, nothing feels difficult to use, even on the fly. So that's a massive positive. And over on this side, we've got the cruise control as well, okay? In fact, if we get a little bit of a break, no one's going to immediately turn in front of me, like this one. No, all right, we're good, okay. So let's just push cruise. We've got it activated, now we need to set it. Alright, okay, there we go. Right, nice and easy, okay, so you basically put it on standby over here, and then you can activate it here. And if you cancel it, I'm assuming with a dab of the brake or anything, that's off. Push resume, and yeah, she's back on again. Okay, and it just builds up nice and slow. Now, it's not kind of a radar system or adaptive cruise control or anything, but hey, look how easy it is to use, right? That's the first time, no scripting or anything, it's just bang on, works really well. I'd imagine if you just push this, there you go, it's immediately off as well. So you've got multiple ways to do it, front brake, back brake, turn it off manually, but ultimately works really well. It's going to come in handy for sure on temporary speed limits, which is pretty much whenever I use cruise control in this country, especially if we're getting on the motorways, of which there are many average speed cameras these days. But also if you're taking the bike abroad and you're not too sure of the area, it's going to work really well on those occasions too. Now down here in a second, there we go, he's there, let's go. We've got more twisties. Careful on this one, a little gravel, there we are. And we're out of here. Oh, that's good. Right then, so overall ergos and everything then, as I say, very good. Switch gear is great. Comfort on my ride so far is very good. Have to say, really impressive. The electronics, like I mentioned, I think it comes with everything that you're going to kind of need really, so that's really good. So what about handling then and cornering? Well, we'll get to do a bit more down here in a second. That torque is so good. But yeah, overall, so far it's very light. I'll chuck around a little bit more in a minute. But yeah, super easy, right? These roads are pretty terrible in the UK at the moment. I don't think our government has spent any money on these for a long time, so I can't chuck it around too much just yet. I know there's some better ones up here. But yeah, the bike weighs 226 kg and somehow it doesn't feel like that. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't. It feels, I wouldn't say light, but it feels very, very stable, very planted. Weirdly, it feels lighter than my ZH2. Then again, I suppose it is actually, isn't it? But hey, look, for a bike that weighs 226, they've hidden it well, is what I'm saying. It handles good, right? A little bit of a corner here, just kind of tipper in, nothing crazy. We've got more up ahead. I mean, at these speeds, you need nothing more than to basically pretty much look where you want to go, and just a tiny bit of counter steer. What have we got in there then? Oh, is that like a car show or something? Very nice. I love the way the engine just picks up though. I mentioned it was a 999cc, right? So you've got plenty of gumption there where it needs it. And obviously the peak power, yeah, it was basically right at the top, okay. Basically around 11,000 RPM is where you're going to be screaming her to making that peak horsepower. But the way that they've re-engineered it, obviously upgraded injectors and camshafts and, you know, strengthened internals, they've given it a range which the GSXRs of old, a lot of them didn't have. Just take it easy, especially because of horses. So yeah, you've got flexibility in the power band there, and I think that's brilliant because, again, certainly on UK roads, if you're mainly a road user and not a track user, you're not going to be opening it up crazy all the time. But when you do, ready? Oh yeah. She springs to life. Now, admittedly, this isn't kind of like heart-stopping speed and power, which a lot of us have got used to. But for UK roads, oh, she's lovely, absolutely lovely. And yeah, now we've got some heat into these tyres. Very, very good. I will say the tyres, they're not the top end, but like anything in life, you can always spend more, okay? Again, 99% of the people that are going to use this bike, everything's going to be within limits and work very, very well. It's a great feel, very confidence inspiring. And as I say, the bike just feels planted, okay? Through the corners, it's just point and shoot. Point and shoot. You barely even need to counter steer. It's so well balanced. It just carves its way through the bends. I'm actually a massive fan of this, I really am. And I know it might be deemed as a bit of a downgrade from the Z, but I'd have one of these in my stable without a doubt. I really would. Would I do some tuning to it? Well, you know me by now. Yeah, I probably would. But even that stock can, it sounds nice, hey chaps. And the airbox as well. Get a lovely burble from it. Really good. Yeah, it's impressive. So to recap then, handling wise, it's great, okay? Obviously I can't say what it's like on a track or anything. It might not be as competitive there, sure. But on the road, what a machine. What a machine. You've got riding modes and power bands that will suit pretty much anything you're ever going to need. And through the corners, it's just brilliant, you know. It feels so planted. Very confidence inspiring. Yeah, a real pleasure to ride. Now, one thing we haven't tested so much, and I will in a second if we get the space, is the brakes, okay? So we've got Brembo forward pots like I mentioned on the front. Okay, let's just get into a lower gear. We're at 40 and on the anchors. Wow, okay. They're good. Oh, they're good. And that wasn't even going crazy. Let's do a little bit more. This is nothing around and on. Wow. Okay, yeah, look, super impressive, okay. They may not be stylemas or anything super exotic, but they are Brembo, and ultimately it's how they've been set up, and how they've been set up on this machine is absolutely spot on. Right, now some speed limit again, nothing crazy, just a bit more beans. Quick shifter down, there we go. Oh yeah, baby, oh yeah. So like I said, it's nothing crazy. It's not like a 200 something plus horsepower rocket ship, but she's plenty quick, guys, plenty quick. Suzuki say the top speed's meant to be around, I don't know, 150 miles an hour. I can't test that for obvious reasons, but what I can say, she's got all the power you're going to need. And don't forget, with a little bit of jiggery pokery, maybe a full system power commander, you can easily unlock another 15-20 brake, I have no doubt whatsoever. But what you have got is a very well-rounded machine here. I think fair play Suzuki, hats off to you. This is a great machine. And the reason it's also a really good machine is the value, right? Because again, I'll kind of put them up on the screen, some of its competitors. I think the main ones, you're going to be looking at Kawasaki Ninja 1000SX, okay? Now I'm going to be doing a review on that next. And you've also got things like the Yamaha Tracer 9. Now I've done a review on that bike already, so have a look at it. I'll save my thoughts on the Kawasaki until I've done a full review on that one, and then I'm going to do a comparison video as well. Now what I would say, there's bits in all of those bikes where you could say that bike's got the edge, you know. But interestingly, this bike is more powerful than both of those that I've just mentioned, okay? You've got more peak horsepower on this one, but for example the SX might have a 6-axis IMU. It's that kind of bike top trumps really, but for the most part I don't think you're going to need any more than what this machine offers you right now. Now I can't say I've been out on it for a very long ride, but what I will say so far is the seat is impressive. Obviously I'm a big heavy white guy, as you might know, and it's good, right? Okay, the position is good. Overall feel so far for me is very nice indeed. Even for a tall guy, this screen is quite good. You can get the touring version, which is kind of more kind of outwards and a bit higher as well, okay? So it's more convex, I guess you might say. I'll put it on the screen so you can see. Taller riders might get a bit of a bonus in comfort from that, but I don't think it's an essential. It's not a must-have. Looks like the sun might be coming out to play. Woohoo! Right, coming back into a 30 again now. I'm just going to slow it right down. Let's just have a look at the fueling quickly. Nothing crazy, but third gear is always a good indicator of how it works at lower RPM. And yeah, 3000 RPM, it's fine. The A mode is a little bit more bitey, I will say. It is keen, like I mentioned earlier. If you put it in B mode, you kind of lose that little jumpiness that it might have. But that's part of the mode. It's kind of designed that way. Put it into C and you can kind of really crank it back, and you're not going to get flung anywhere by surprise. Down into seconds. Yeah, it's very well behaved actually. Even in the A mode, very well behaved. Let's just go across here. It's very easy just to get powered out of the corner with this as well. It's quite deceiving. Very smooth power delivery. Hey chap, lovely machine. Right then, so quick summary then. The bike's basically £12,000. I think it offers very good value for money in the market. I think looks are going to be subjective, as they always would be in anything that you're going to buy. I think it looks very nice actually. The thing that everyone says, which is about both lights not being on at the same time, I get that. It's one of my things as well. Many times I've been out at night and people flash when you've got a bike that only illuminates one side. Just put them both on, manufacturers. Listen to us, please. Put them both on. No reason for it, okay? No reason at all. I can't say what the lights are like at night, obviously. I've not tested it, but they're full LED. I think they're going to work well. Switch gear and everything is very good and easy to use. And that screen is perfect. It's just what you need. There's no kind of exhaustive menus or anything to get lost in. In fact, probably 95% of what you're ever going to need is right in front of you, right there. And you can control all of it from here. What more do you want, right? It's kind of more no frills, but what more do you want? Suspension and handling, I mean, I can't say I've pushed it to its limit, but on the legal limits and these kind of roads and conditions, it's been super comfortable. Even with these terrible UK roads and potholes that we've got and all kinds of terrible things on there, it handles it very well. And even at higher speeds, you can tell she is planted, absolutely planted There's nothing cornering wise around here that's going to allow me to push this bike to its limit. Absolutely nothing, without going really gung-ho and being a bit irresponsible. So handling and comfort, yeah, very, very pleased with it. Very, very pleased. Gearbox and the way the clutch system works, obviously it's a quick shift up and down, slip and assist, all the rest of it. 6-speed, very, very good. Very, very good indeed. Manually, it's lovely. Like that, it's up and down, nice and easy. And once you get used to that A mode, yeah, it's fine. You've just got to time it. You get used to the timing, but it works really, really well. And then down again. Let's go down a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really easy, very smooth. So again, it's really, really impressive, guys. Overall, I think Suzuki have done really well, and the sales results worldwide are evidence of that. They've created a machine which offers exceptional value for money, all the kit that you need, and it's very relatable for most riders. It's going to offer pretty much everything you need. If you're moving up to it from a lower CC, it's going to be your first bigger bike, you'll love this. And if you're coming down from something maybe, you know, at the pinnacle of speed and power, and you want something slightly more relaxed but still fun, you know, returning riders, people who want to kind of like size down a little bit, this is great for you as well. 3-year warranty from Suzuki, everything you kind of need, cheap servicing, cheap parts. You can get some nice accessories as well, and you can really make this sound gnarly if you change the system. Have a look at those. And of course, if you put a power commander on there as well, well, people know how good the K5 was to tune. You've basically got a better version of that engine right here, and you could do so much to it if you wanted to. You really, really could. So look, overall, a bit waffly, very impressive, guys. Very, very impressive. Suzuki, great job. It really is superb. It's a pleasure to ride. It really is. I could be on it all day. Very, very happy. So guys and girls, I hope you liked the video, and if you did, give it a like. That really helps support the channel, really helps me to grow. And if you haven't subscribed already, you know, maybe consider it. It's completely free, and it's the best way you can help this channel to grow and reach a wider audience. Big thank you again to Bloomies Motorcycles for allowing me to take this bike out. You guys are legends. Up on the screen some videos you might like as well. So thanks very much for watching. As always, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you on the next one.